What if an economy wasn't built for profit, but for prayer? It sounds kind of out there, right? Well, today we're diving into a project called AshayaNet, and it's this incredibly ambitious plan to build a global economy on the blockchain. But get this, it's not about speculation or getting rich quick. It's founded on what they call divine principles.
Yeah, that quote right there, born from a prayer, not a business plan, that really tells you everything you need to know about the mindset here. It is a super bold claim. So in this explainer, we're going to dig right into it. We'll look at the philosophy, how it all actually works mechanically, and how they plan to use it in the real world. And we're using their own master document as our guide.
All right, so to really get what AshayaNet is all about, you've got to start with its core philosophy. They call it the living trinity, and you can think of this as the literal DNA of the entire system. It's designed to mirror the structure of a person, body, heart, and mind.
And this is where it gets really interesting. They take these big, almost spiritual ideas and map them directly onto economic functions. So the body is all about utility, the tangible stuff you can actually use, like a place to sleep or a meal. The heart represents impact. That's how they measure and recognize your contribution to the community. And finally, the mind is governance. It's your voice, your say, and how the whole thing is run.
Okay, so this whole body, heart, mind thing, it's not just some nice philosophical idea on a piece of paper. No way. It's the literal blueprint for 3 completely different types of digital tokens that are the engine for the entire network. And here they are. It's actually pretty straightforward when you see it like this. You've got the UTX, or XAsh token, for the body. That's your utility. You have the impact token for the heart. That's how they reward service. And you've got the gov token for the mind. That's what gives you a voice. See? Body, heart, mind, all translated into code. Now, the real linchpin here, the thing that connects it all, is that impact token. It acts like a bridge. It's the system's way of saying, hey, we see the good work you're doing. And once you've earned that recognition, you get a choice. You can convert it into real-world stuff for yourself, tangible services, or you can convert it into a voice in the community's future. It's a really cool way to connect your actions to both what you can get and the responsibility you hold. Okay, so we have these 3 tokens. But how does the money, the value, actually flow through the system? Well, it's not random at all. It's all governed by one simple automated rule they call the 90-9-1 principle. And the key thing is, this rule applies to every single transaction. No exceptions. Let's walk through their own example to see how this plays out in the real world. So, say a guest pays 200 euros for a retreat. The moment that payment happens, the system automatically slices it up. 180 euros, that's 90%, goes right to covering the service, the food, the bed, the care. Then 18 euros, or 9%, gets reinvested right back into the project's future. Think fixing roofs or putting up solar panels, and that last little bit, 2 euros, just 1%, goes into a global impact pool to help fund other healing projects around the world. So when you look at it like this, the principle is super clear, right? The huge majority of the money, that 90%, goes to what's happening right here, right now, the direct services. But, and this is the clever part, there's this built-in, totally automated tithe that is constantly feeding back into both the project's own growth and its much bigger charitable mission. So the network's main currency, its stable token, is called XAsh. And the name itself is a mouthful, but it's important. Exchange Active Share of Humanity. The whole point here is to create a stable asset. This is not about wild price swings or market hype. Its value is meant to be a direct reflection of the actual real-world health and productivity of the ecosystem. So how do they stop the speculation? Well, they tie the value of 1 XAsh to real, tangible things. It's literally backed by the measurable output of the whole network. We're talking things like verified kilowatt hours from their solar panels, the actual revenue from retreats and meals, audited valuations of their land and buildings, and even the total number of work hours people have contributed. It's all grounded in reality. And yeah, they even get into the math. The document lays out this conceptual formula for what they call the value index. But you don't have to be a math whiz to get the core idea. The goal is simple: to make sure the currency's value only goes up when the community is actually creating real, measurable good. It's kind of like a spiritual gold standard, where value isn't backed by gold, but by virtue and positive action. Okay, I know you might be thinking, this all sounds great in theory, very philosophical, but can it actually work in the real world? Well, AshayaNet has a test case for that very purpose. They're putting the whole model to the test with the restoration and operation of a real place, Castle Saunderson, a historic site in Ireland. And the goal here is huge. They want to transform this incredible heritage site into a living, breathing sanctuary and training center. The target capitalization for this is 15 million euros. And the whole thing, every single euro is going to be structured and managed through their token system.
This right here, this is where the rubber meets the road. It shows you exactly how the digital tokens translate into real-world value. It's not abstract anymore. A night's stay with full board, that's 120x cash. You put in an hour of volunteer work, you earn 20 impact tokens. The digital value has a direct one-to-one connection to actual goods and services. It's totally concrete. And they've mapped out the financials too. The model is projecting some serious growth, aiming to start at about 2 million euros in revenue in the first year and climbing up to 8 million by year 5. And the goal isn't just for the castle to pay its own bills and become self-sustaining. The real vision is for it to become a huge contributor to that global 1% impact fund we talked about earlier.
But look, this is so much bigger than just one castle in Ireland. That's just the pilot. The ultimate goal is to create a global federation of projects. We're talking sanctuaries, schools, eco-farms, all operating independently, but all interconnected and running on the exact same ethical code.
And that's the core idea for how they plan to scale this whole thing up. Each new project, they call them sub-DAOs, gets to run its own show day to day. But here's the magic. It also contributes to the entire network, and in return, it gets to benefit from the strength and resources of the whole. It's a give-and-take relationship.
And that is what makes the whole vision scalable. Remember that little 1% fee? It's the secret sauce. That tiny slice from every single transaction across the globe creates this constant, self-balancing pool of funding. It's that living tithe again, and it fuels the health, the governance, and the expansion of the entire ecosystem, all automatically, without needing a giant, slow bureaucracy to manage it. So this isn't just a dream. They've got a very ambitious, multi-year roadmap to make it a reality. You can see they're aiming to get the legal and the tech foundations sorted out in 2025, and from there, the big goal is to have a fully operational, self-sustaining global network up and running by 2029. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So when you boil it all down, AshayaNet is trying to be so much more than just another crypto project. It really is a prototype, an experiment for a whole new kind of economy, one where money, personal meaning, and a moral compass are not separate things, but are woven together into the very fabric of the system.
So the big takeaway here is this really radical vision for what finance could be. Not an engine for just accumulating more stuff, but as a genuine tool for regeneration and healing. Now, whether something this ambitious can actually work at a global scale, that's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? But one thing's for sure, it absolutely challenges us to think differently about what our money is for and what an economy could truly be.